Hi everyone, we are Hannah, Mickey, Noah, and Kiri, and our group will be talking about kimchi and kimjang today. So let's jump right into it. Around 4,000 years ago, Korea was an agricultural society that mainly grew grains and vegetables during the warmer months. However, this meant many died due to starvation during the colder months as crops were unable to be harvested. This led Koreans to seek a way to preserve their perishable food. While many countries like China were preserving their food by pickling and frying, Koreans did not have easy access to cooking oils, so they turned to fermentation. Kimchi, which is a dish that consists of fermented and spiced cabbage and/or radish, was then created along with many other fermented foods still present in modern-day Korean cuisine. To account for the large amount of kimchi to be preserved during the wintertime, whole families and communities would come together to prepare the kimchi to be fermented. This process is known as kimjang and is still practiced by some Koreans today. Kimjang was later established as a UNESCO Intangible Heritage in 2013 for its cultural significance to the Korean people. For many Koreans today, kimchi is a source of national pride and a symbol of identity. Based on the literature we have read, there's two main reasons why Koreans associate kimchi with their national identity: its uniqueness as a food and ability to bring people together. As kimchi is distinct in both taste and smell, Koreans take pride in its unique flavor profile. The food is also a symbol of unity, as all Koreans frequently keep kimchi in their households and eat it often. This makes eating kimchi a shared experience among Koreans. Similarly, kimjang has traditionally brought together families and larger communities. Our project seeks to further explore this link between kimchi and Koreans' national identity through a kimchi making class, going to the KImjang Museum, and then reflecting on our experiences.
To gain a better understanding of kimjang, our group participated in a kimchi making class at the KImjang Museum. There we learned how to make two different types of kimchi: traditional Napa cabbage kimchi and paprika kimchi. Today we'll focus on the process of making traditional Napa cabbage kimchi for the sake of time. First, we cut our green onion and radish into bite-sized pieces. Then we combined a pre-made kimchi sauce with seasonings such as garlic, fish sauce, and gochugaru, which is Korean chili flakes. After we rubbed the sauce all over the cabbage and other vegetables, our instructor informed us to keep the Napa cabbage kimchi sitting out at room temperature for 1 day to ferment. Once we had finished the class, our group noticed some differences between our experience and traditional kimjang. According to UNESCO, the process of making kimchi is typically passed down from one mother to her daughter-in-law, whereas we were simply taught by an instructor. Similarly, in kimjang, all the kimchi is traditionally made in one very large bowl, but we had our own stations to make our personal batches. Nevertheless, we also noticed some similarities in our experience. The recipe that we used consisted of all the main ingredients traditionally used to make kimchi. We also were able to really feel the community aspect that makes kimjang so special. After reflecting on the class, our group felt like we were able to learn more about one another through this joint experience of making kimchi. Through conversation, we learned about the different foods we enjoyed and our experiences cooking back home. We realized that the connections that are built with one another during kimjang is one of the reasons why the process is so meaningful to many Koreans and a sense of pride.
After finishing the kimchi making class, we then visited the actual KImjang Museum. Upon entering, we noticed many of the exhibits were interactive, and there were a lot of realistic displays. We enjoyed playing kimchi-themed games, watching videos about the history of kimchi, and learning more about how kimchi differs from region to region in Korea. In the exhibit about the birth and evolution of kimchi, we learned about how some believe kimchi to have originated in China, as zhou is the Chinese character for salted vegetables and was first used to describe kimchi. However, the KImjang Museum notes that kimchi is unique from just salted vegetables, as it's seasoned, fermented, and eaten in a special way that is distinct from other salted vegetables in Northeast Asia. Today, many Koreans strongly believe that kimchi did not originate in China, and this left our group wondering why Koreans are so adamant that kimchi is Korean. After learning about the origin of kimchi in the museum, we realized that Koreans take pride in the fact that the process of making kimchi and its flavoring is so unique to their culture. Even though there are many similarities in culture between Korea and other East Asian countries such as China, kimchi is distinctly Korean and its uniqueness is what makes it so special to Koreans.
It's real. Wait, is that real?
No, it's fake. All of this is.
So, after the experience of making kimchi, we got a better idea of why the practice instills such a strong sense of national identity in Koreans, and we decided to compare it to Thanksgiving, which is when families gather and celebrate what they are thankful for in American culture. We realized that the reason Kimjang is so special to Koreans is similar why Thanksgiving is special to Americans. Just as American families come together and bond over preparing Thanksgiving dinner, Korean families also come together to make kimchi, which is what makes Kimjang so special as well. However, looking at American culture, we couldn't really find any specific dish that instills Americans with a sense of, yes, America, and national pride, like kimchi does for Koreans. We realized that Thanksgiving still falls short as there isn't a specific special food that all Americans bond over, and every family is different in how they do these celebrations. This is not to say all Koreans practice kimjang the same, but we believe it shows a difference between an American individualistic culture that prioritizes their own individual family traditions over that of a nation and a Korean collectivist one that highlights nation and family together. The practice of kimjang brings Korean families together, but kimchi itself brings all Koreans together as a nation, as eating kimchi is something all Koreans do. While Thanksgiving brings together individual American families, Thanksgiving does not bring all Americans together as a nation. The way making and eating kimchi not only brings together Korean families, but is also a shared experience among all Koreans, is why we believe the food fills them with such a strong sense of national pride. Ultimately, when it's the historical practice of making food or the contemporary joy of eating it together, food serves as the powerful conduit for unity and shared experiences.